en Monterrey.
Aquí está la muestra porque mi mente es tan siniestra. Oye morrillo, aquí te pongo una recia. Esto es Minari by Nature. Hasta la fecha, lanzando mis flechas a todos los haters. Give me the microphone, marcando mis...
A couple things that I've observed since I've been here. Our host lives kind of informally. He lives beautifully. It's really creative. You know, it's really the ultimate creative environment where it's not too structured. It's not too clean. It's full of plants, it's full of life, it's full of animals, it's full of paintings and art. It's like, to me, it's awesome. It's the bare minimum you need for life. You don't need everything to be perfect. And that's kind of how our host lives, Ernesto. It's awesome. Pretty much everything that kind of like exists here is much cheaper if you want to rent a place in Monterrey, which is the most wealthy city in Mexico, the most Americanized city. You can get a very nice place for $200 a month. Basically, the rule is if it's something that doesn't need to be imported, it's going to be a lot cheaper here. Now, if it's something that needs to be imported, like say you wanted to order, like buy a drone, because they don't really make those here, I don't think. I think those are mostly made in the US and of course in Asia. And for some reason it's more expensive here for things like that, like electronics, things like that. But if it's imported and you're in the United States, you'd be paying for, you know, really the name or the intangibles. It's probably going to be cheaper here. And anything that's homegrown here is going to be generally cheaper than in the United States. With something like movies, or with like a brand label like Coca-Cola or something like that, something that's easily imported, you know, across the border, those things are also cheap because in the United States you're not paying for the product, you're paying for the name. There's just so many things you're paying for that are intangible. But of course, those companies, they price their items to the economy. They price according to demand. And of course in Mexico, the economy, people don't have as much money, and so the demand is therefore, you know, in a sense lower, and therefore the prices are lower. The food is really good. Very basic dinner, lunch, 37 pesos. It's like $2. It's definitely nice to have cash on hand. I'd prefer to have cash than a card. A lot of places accept cards here, but of course cash is always nice because there's a lot of places that don't. But yeah, the food is great. Food is extremely cheap. You can take a girl out on a date for $6. Movies are really cheap. You go to a brand new movie for like $2. Drinks are really cheap too. However, it can start to add up for sure, especially if you're trying to travel a lot like we are, like a sort of couch surfing budget, as you might say. It can definitely add up. So it just really depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to live. So you want to try to kind of plan ahead. I mean, because there's places where the food is expensive and the drinks are expensive. Apparently even clothes are more expensive here. But my experience so far has been pretty similar in price. When we wanted to wash our clothes, he does have a washing machine, but we just dried it on the ledge here. The sun. Why would you buy a dryer in a place so hot as this? So all in all, probably like 80% of things are like cheaper, like a lot cheaper. And but it does depend on where you go. I mean, right now we're actually in a really nice area, and so the grocery store across the street is actually similarly priced to the United States prices. But most places aren't like that at all. It's like Whole Foods basically. Monterrey is extremely commercialized, and there are many places in the city that you could easily mistake for being part of the United States. There are tons of fast food restaurants, there are Best Buys, shopping centers, even Buffalo Wild Wings.
I've never been to a Carl's Jr.
What the fuck, bro?
What? Wings, beer, sports. Is there a better slogan?
Seriously. I mean, one more. I mean, like, that's just like Carl's guys, basically.
On one of our last days, we were all together. We had a great time together enjoying tamarind candies and listening to Tim tell us about all the amazing places in Mexico we should go next.
Yeah, off the main line, you get close to this bitch. When you get close to this bitch, you have to jump into the water, swim through this fucking little narrow-ass cave, and then until you reach the beach there. And then you reach the beach, and then you're looking around. You have to do that.
And listening to Ernesto's tall tales.
Our real name is quickly Ernesto Guadalupe del Niño Jesús
Oh, here we go.
Tu nombre.
Del Corpus Christi. De la Sagrada Circuncisión del Señor. Chapa y Rangel. Tristán y Castilleja. Romero de Terreros. Las Gurain de los Monteros. My simple name. No. It's illegal. You are hilarious.
Salud.
Salud.
Well, this is it. Thank you, Ernesto. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Tim, it's been a pleasure.
No problem, man. It's been a pleasure to seeing you guys and meeting you guys, man. Never met anybody from West Coast, so it's pretty cool. Good looking Guadalajara. Yeah.
Thank you. This is the farewell of Monterrey for now.
Until next time.
It's a sad moment, but Guadalajara's next. And here we go. On to the next one.
So that's it for Monterrey for now. Let me know if you enjoyed the ride. Next up is Guadalajara, and I'm going to be doing something interesting there. Now that we've got our feet wet in Mexico, I'm going to start introducing you guys to more Spanish as we travel, starting by focusing on cognates in Guadalajara, or words that are similar in both English and Spanish. Thanks DJ Blunt from Monterrey for letting me use your music in this episode. Show him some support, guys, by clicking his link where you can get some of his music for free. If you like this, subscribe. If you don't, let me know what you'd like to see. I'll see y'all in Guadalajara.